Hello everyone, iCool Tech here. Now Apple has just released iPadOS 17.2 to the general public, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the things that you guys care about, such as performance, battery life, overheating, as well as bugs that have and haven't been fixed in this update. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below with post notifications enabled to stay tuned for more content just like this, as I do this for every iOS release, as well as my 1 week later iOS 17.2 review coming, of course, 1 week later. Duh. So anyways, let's waste no extra time, let's get straight into the video. Kicking things off with the overall performance of iPadOS 17.2, I have noticed zero change whatsoever coming from previous iOS releases on my iPad. Now this is not a bad thing at all, because performance was already more than satisfactory, it was already perfect, and so considering that there is no change, it means that this is just fine. In terms of animations, however, I actually have noticed some improvements across the board, just like with iOS 17.2. You can watch that video right here, it is also out now. Things like the control center and the notification center, even the app library, they would typically, since like iPadOS 15, I've noticed these micro stutters when, opening them up. And with iPadOS 17.2, they're just like non-existent. I have not had, especially the control center and app library, I have not had any stutters at all since updating iPadOS 17.2, and I'm very, very, very pleased to say that. Now, RAM management on the iPad has been fantastic since I bought this thing. So from iPadOS 16, because I got it when it was new, all the way to iPadOS 17.2, I have noticed no change in any update since this thing came out, which means that for RAM management, it is fantastic. And if you update from any previous version of iPadOS to iPadOS 17.2, you will notice zero change in the RAM management. So battery life on iPadOS 17.2 has been noticeably better than its predecessor, and while the jump hasn't been as big as it was on iPhone, it is noticeable and it is there. So that means that I get more battery out of a single day than previously, and it is of course a welcome improvement no matter how small. Now keep in mind that your experience can and will vary from mine. Just because mine is fantastic does not guarantee that yours will be as well. You get so many people that are like, oh, the battery life is so much better on this update. People update, then they're like, oh no, this is way worse. And then others are like, no, this is way better. And then you get the people in between, they're like, oh no, it's more or less the same. So just keep that in mind when updating to iPadOS 17.2 or any other release in the future ever. But also keep in mind that in the first 48 hours, your device will go through a process called indexing. And again, this should resolve after 48 hours. If it doesn't, leave a comment down below, let me know, and I'll take a look at it and get back to you. Basically what happens is it's just a background process that your device goes through after updating iOS, and it can cause slight battery drain, and not so much on iPad, but it could also potentially cause overheating. But again, should be resolved within 48 hours and you'd be good to go. As for overheating, just like always, it's like non-existent. I've never experienced this iPad overheat, which is always good news. Alright everyone, that is iPadOS 17.2. Now with pretty much just general improvements across the board, as well as new features and bug fixes, iPadOS 17.2 is a very solid update, and if you're on iPadOS 16 and you've been waiting to update to iPadOS 17, now is the right time. Of course, if you're already on iPadOS 17, any earlier version, I would definitely go ahead and hit that download and install button. But yeah, so that is all I have for this one. If you did find the video helpful in any way, or maybe just enjoyed the video, show me with a like down below. Of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button with notifications enabled for more content just like this, as I do this with every iOS and iPadOS and watchOS update. Of course, stay tuned for my 1 week later iPadOS 17.2 full review coming in, well, like I said in the beginning, 1 week. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one.